my take on the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor on Television. Ed Harris, 2017, 1 out of 1. It's Tuesday, 23 June 2026 AD, and what was that one? This is like a pure memory video. I didn't log into any of my like accounts online that I've like ever had to rebrief myself on this television series or this performance or anything like that. So this is pure recall in the performance arena. So here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, god of Hades, I'm not the god of Hades, like my god is Hades, is a god of Hades. Talk through the Ed Harris, he, him, his of the United States of America, Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor on Television, Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films, Year of Awards / Awards Edition 2017, 43rd. He won the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor on Television, 1 out of 1 of the prize, 100%, for his portrayal of the Man in Black in the television series Westworld. Time frame of award 2016 / early 2017. I provide my take / perspective on his award and contextualize it in terms of my viewing of the series in the 2010s decade while living in Albany, California. My evaluation here is for 2016, so not part of my 2017 multimedia. Also not a book or movie, so because they're like, oh, it's about business or it's about whatever. But some of those lists, at least currently, are about books and movies, and so this is a television series. And I watched it as a television series. Back when I was living in California, and that I bring up the books and movies one because it's kind of like business meets like Wild Wild West, but like in a future sense where people like pay to go into like, you know, the West world. That's like the Wild Wild West. But then there's also like it draws on like neuroscience and kind of like thought processes and that kind of thing. So it's like a mashup maybe of different things. And it was one I did watch. Oh, it was like my Ray-Bans weren't quite flat. My Ray-Ban frame glasses weren't quite flat, and I was like, aha, they're tweaking. No, it's okay. Sorry. I did wear Ray-Ban frame glasses, a different pair than the ones I've been wearing when watching this movie. I might have worn these as well, my Coach glasses. I had Ray-Ban and Coach then, and this was one of the pairs. It was one that I thought was actually pretty good. It held my attention. It did a really good job of, so the Man in Black is for the show, I would describe it as a central character. I think it could be debated till one's blue in the face, so to speak, if a character is a main character or not, or the main character. So I'd say the Man in Black and Ed Harris in his performance was a central character that, even if it wasn't like the most prominent of roles, it was there is something called a dream catcher, and it can like catch dreams, and it's like a net, a very like beautiful net, so to speak, that catches dreams. And his character was like the storyline catcher, like one of those kind of characters where it was central in the sense of being important for understanding what was going on in the show. And I thought he did such a good job in his portrayal of the character. He kind of has a serious demeanor, and he didn't have it was a standout for Ed Harris, who I grew up watching, because he was serious in tone and like demeanor and posture, but he managed to like scrub out any kind of like harshness, if that made to his performance. So it was like, you know, if you've ever heard of like a rock tumbler or a rock polisher, where you take like a rock and then you put it in a polisher and it goes around and around and it becomes really smooth. It was like a really well polished serious Ed Harris as the man in black. So it was really cool. It was really cool. I was like, I could have used more screen time of Ed Harris because he did such a good job. But it was like watching a polished rock. But they had good rocks in the movie too. But okay, so I have a Bachelor of Science degree in geology and geophysics with a minor in mathematics. So for me, it was kind of fun. It was like, you know, there's the scenery that's beautiful and the rocks and stuff, the geology, but then there's also like the rock human, Ed Harris in this case, that's nice and polished, without losing the rock's attributes. And so it was very cool, and it was very cool that he won an award for this. And I think I was looking at different awards and stuff like that, and kind of being like, what are these awards? And this is one where I was like, yes, he deserved to win for this. So I was like, you gain, sometimes like I don't necessarily know an award or a prize very well, and like I really love a person in a role, and so this is one of those cases where I was like, yes to the person in that role in that thing. And so I was like, you just moved interview Saturn Awards, because that's the right pick. So that is kind of how I viewed this one. So that's my take on the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor on Television. Ed Harris, 2017, 1 out of 1.